In the quiet suburb of Willow Creek, Emily and Mark had built what seemed like the perfect life. Married for 8 years, they shared a cozy home, weekend hikes, and dreams of starting a family. But lately, Emily's new hobby, a weekly pottery class at the local community center, had started to feel like a wedge between them. She'd come home late, clay dust on her clothes, her eyes distant, as if her mind was still spinning on the potter's wheel. Mark tried not to think much of it at first. "It's good for you to have something just for yourself," he'd say, as she rushed out the door every Tuesday evening. But doubts crept in like shadows lengthening at dusk. Her phone would buzz with messages she dismissed as class reminders, and she'd started wearing a new perfume that smelled faintly of lavender and something unfamiliar. One rainy afternoon, unable to shake the unease, Mark decided to act. He searched online for the community center's schedule and saw the pottery class listed, but something felt off. The instructor's name wasn't one Emily had mentioned. Pretending to be interested in joining, he called the center. "Oh, our pottery class? It's been canceled for months due to low enrollment," the receptionist said. Mark's heart sank. If there was no class, where had Emily been going every week? That evening, as Emily prepared to leave again, Mark confronted her gently. "Hey, is everything okay with your class? I was thinking of surprising you there sometime." Her face paled for a split second before she recovered with a, "It's fine, just the usual. Don't worry about it." But Mark couldn't let it go. The next Tuesday, he followed her car from a distance, his pulse racing with a mix of guilt and fear. Emily didn't head to the community center. Instead, she drove to a small cafe on the outskirts of town, where she met a man Mark didn't recognize. They sat close, over coffee, their hands brushing occasionally. Mark watched from his car, the world blurring through the rain-streaked window. Was this an affair? Or was his imagination running wild? Desperate for answers, Mark did something he never thought he would. He hired a private investigator. Posing as a fellow pottery enthusiast, the PI enrolled in what turned out to be a fictional class Emily had invented. But the investigator's report came back with photos, not of betrayal in the romantic sense, but something more twisted. Emily had been attending secret meetings with a support group for people dealing with hidden anxieties. The class was her cover for therapy sessions, where she confessed her growing paranoia about Mark's late work nights and unexplained absences. The irony hit Mark like a cold wave. While he'd been suspecting her, Emily had been doubting him, piecing together her own puzzle of mistrust. The lavender perfume? A gift from a friend in the group. The distant eyes? Exhaustion from carrying the weight of unspoken fears alone. That night, Mark waited for her to come home. When she walked in, he laid out the photos and his confessions. Tears flowed as they talked for hours, unraveling the threads of misunderstanding that had nearly torn them apart. They promised to communicate openly, to rebuild the trust they'd both let erode. In the end, the pottery class that never was became a symbol of their renewed bond. Emily started a real hobby, gardening together in their backyard, and Mark learned that sometimes the deepest deceptions are the ones we tell ourselves. But the lingering question remained. What if one of them had been right? The thought haunted them both, a quiet echo in their happier days.